Please register your name and enrollment number in the chat box. Please register your name, enrollment number in the chat box.
Hello.
Yes,
Good
yes.
afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Sir,
afternoon.
myself, Akshay Kumar Sahu. Sir,
Okay.
last 2 days, sir, when I send that attendance, my name and enrollment number always message send me that failed to send, tap to resend or delete, and continuously I continue that. That means after 3 o'clock it will be received as sent. So anything problem, sir?
Is it received? Is it received at this end or not?
At the end, sir, after 3:30, 4.
No problem. No problem. Once your name is there, then there is absolutely no problem.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, in BS-123 block number 2. Hello. Am I
Yes.
audible, sir? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
in BS-123 block number 2, there is half half page is missing. Means the odd number of page is there, but the even number page is not there.
Where have you received the study material?
No, sir. I am following the e-Gyan course material.
But I am also following the same thing. But my material is full.
But sir, there is only there is only 28 pages are there in the e-Gyan course.
No.
Particularly this block doesn't contain.
Maybe while downloading, there may be
Yes,
some
sir.
internet problem. Therefore, only 50% of the material has been downloaded. So you download once again, or else you just give me your email ID. I will send the study material to you in your email ID.
Okay, sir. I'm sending.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please mute your microphone.
Sir.
Please mute your microphone and listen to the presentation. We are going to start the presentation. Good afternoon, friends. Today is the second day for BES-123. So in this particular session, we shall be dealing with BES-123, that is understanding the learner. Understanding the learner. This particular blog is dedicated to quite a good amount of psychological aspects like your attitude, aptitude, creativity, interest, curiosity, motivation, isn't it? And so on and so forth. And in the initial phase, you'll come to know about the different factors affecting learning, isn't it? And so many other things are also there, which our counselor will be dealing with one after another. Now let us welcome our counselor, Dr. Jayashree Nanda, who is very much online. Dr. Nanda, are you listening to me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
she is very much online, and she will be talking to you about understanding the learner. This is block two of your BES-123. So let us listen to her carefully, and please make note of whatever presentations are made. And if you have any query, any doubt, you can ask towards the end of the session. Till such time, please wait and have patience and listen to her carefully. Dr. Nanda, please take over. It is already 2:12, so we are running shortage of time. Please start your presentation. Dr. Nanda, are you able to listen to us?
Thank you, sir.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. We are able to listen to you.
Okay, students. So today's block is sir have already standing the learner. So I want to clarify the yesterday's block. Someone asked me one question: what is spiral curriculum? So a spiral curriculum is a spiral curriculum design is one in which key concepts are presented repeatedly throughout the curriculum, but with depending layers of complexity. Actually, it means in our curriculum also, in our school curriculum, you have gone through your school curriculum, class 7, class 8, class 9, or class 6. You see, so many major ideas and minor ideas are given. So many core components are given, and that is the spiral curriculum. And we go to the depth of that curriculum. That means some key principles are added. That is all the spiral curriculum that is cyclical and that increases depth, and that is based upon prior knowledge. So spiral curriculum means like spiral. This is a spiral. Spiral means one end to another end, and all are connected. All are connected. Minor ideas are given. Major idea is one. Suppose your interest
We are not able to
very
hear.
civilization.
We are not able
That
to
is
hear
spiral
you
curve.
properly.
So from beginning to the
Doctor,
end, one after one another,
Doctor Nanda,
related
we
with
are not
one
able to hear you
after
properly.
another.
We are not able to hear you properly. Maybe there is some connectivity issue.
Sir,
Maybe your internet
any
connectivity is
problem?
little poor. Yeah, we are not able to hear you properly. It is better. But we are not able to hear you
Audible
properly.
now?
You know,
Sir, am I audible now? Am I audible now?
now
Sir, am I audible now?
you are audible now, but in between your voice is breaking. Your image is also freezing. Anyway, please go ahead. Let us wait for the proper connectivity to come.
Sir, I don't know
Please
what's
go
the
ahead.
problem.
No.
Okay.
That is due to internet connection. That is due to internet connectivity. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Understanding the learner. Sir, am I audible? Sir, am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Sir, now am I audible?
Come on. Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So, understanding the learner is cultural diversity among learners. In our classroom, there are so many types of learners are there. You are very much there. Creative students are there. Your students with various types of aptitude. Good personality students are there. Some poor sociocultural diversity is a reality of Indian schools. In our schools, poor children from poor families they are coming, from rich families they are coming. They are from Christians community, from Hindu community, from Jain community, from Buddhist community. So there are also various types of religion. In India 22 official languages are there and 720 dialects are there. So there is a vast diversity in our Indian classrooms. So it is very difficult to tackle with such type of learners. What top job of the teacher? How UNESCO said about the diversity of the learners that socio-cultural diversity in this context includes race, class, ability, different learning conditions and styles, ethnicity, age, gender, sexual orientation, religion, nationality, and other dimensions that make up the identity of the individual student and impact his or her learning experience. That means from various communities, various social background, from various cultural background, from various educational background, from various economic background, students are coming. And it is our moral duty as a teacher how we can handle them. Because every learner has the right to education. Also consider education as a basic need. Food, shelter, and clothes. But still we can add education is a basic need. So nobody should be deprived of education. So various types of learners are there in our Indian classrooms. And as a teacher, as a facilitator, as a guide, as a philosopher, as a friend, we should give them opportunity to develop. Or for the all-round development of all the learners, the teachers should take care. So in Odia also, we can diversify these learners into 4 types. ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହିପାରିବା ଆମେ 4 ପ୍ରକାର ଭାଗ କରିପାରିବା ଏଇ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣର ବା ଶିକ୍ଷାର୍ଥୀ ମାନଙ୍କୁ କେମିତିଆ ନା ପ୍ରଥମ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ବେଗ ବେଗା ବେଗ ଚିରା ଚିରି ବେଗା ଚିରି ଚିରା That means beg bega means semane beg mane jaldi. ଅତି ଜଲ୍ଦି ସେମାନେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଆହରଣ କରନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ବେଗ ବେଗା ଏବଂ ଅତି ଜଲ୍ଦି ମଧ୍ୟ ଭୁଲି ଯାଆନ୍ତି। ବେଗ ବେଗା ଟାଇପ ର ପିଲାମାନେ ଜଲ୍ଦି ମନେ ରଖନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଜଲ୍ଦି ଭୁଲି ଯାଆନ୍ତି। ବେଗ ଚିରା ଜଲ୍ଦି ମନେ ରଖିବେ ଏବଂ ଡେରି ଯାଏ ମନେ ରଖିବେ। ତାପରେ ଆସିଗଲେ ଚିରି ବେଗା ଡେରିରେ ମନେ ରଖିବେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଜଲ୍ଦି ଭୁଲିଯିବେ। ତାପରେ ଆସିଲେ ଚିରି ଚିରା ଡେରିରେ ମନେ ରଖିବେ ଏବଂ ଡେରି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ମନେ ରଖିବେ। ଏବଂ ଏମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରୁ ସବୁଠୁ ଭଲ ହେଲେ ବେଗ ଚିରା, ଯୋଉମାନେ ଜଲ୍ଦି ମନେ ରଖନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ଡେରି ଯାଏ ମନେ ରଖନ୍ତି। That means in our Indian classroom, so many types of children who are very intelligent, whose IQ level is very high. Some genius are there, some idiots are there, some imbeciles are there, some different average children are there, some your emotional problem children are there. So we have to handle them carefully. Then come to what are the factors that affecting learning? So many factors, which factors? Structure. So family structure plays an important role in our learning process. Now some children, they belong to nuclear families and some belong to joint families. In nuclear families, they got less opportunity to interact with others. And in nuclear families, sometimes parents, they don't have much time to give to their children due to their heavy workloads. But in joint family, there is sharing of work. So maximum care is given to children when there is in joint family. And also we can say that joint family have some demerits also. In joint families, if the space is not there, proper learning environment is not there, then also a student may face so many problems. So the family structure also plays an important role in the learning process. Then the type of school. The type of school, there is two types of school. One is the government school, another is a private school. We know in government schools, the private schools, they are providing ample opportunities because they are highly paid. So they are giving various types of opportunities, like their laboratories, very good. They're well-equipped schools. But government schools, nowadays government schools are well-equipped, but in government schools, there was no ample opportunities there. So there is a difference between different types of schools. Then the third point is geographical location. So what is the geographical location and how it affects our learning process? Geographical location means if someone is living in a remote area like Koraput, Kalahandi, and in that place no internet facilities are there. Nowadays we are not only learning in the classroom, but also we are learning from our mobile phones, from our computer. If there is no connectivity, then that child will face some problem. And also due to geographical location problem, there is no communication problem also. And if there is no communication problem, then the higher officials, they may not go to the schools for supervision. So this is another problem that is we can say a hindrance in the way of learning process. Then the socio-economic status, that is also a very important factor for teaching learning process. Because in socio-economic status, if a child is a first generation learner means his forefathers, they are illiterate. He is a first generation child who come to the school. In that case, what happens? Now nobody is there to guide him. If the child is belongs to a poor family, then his parents are unable to provide ample opportunity for his education. So socio-economic status, that also affect the learning process. Then the cultural background. The cultural background, because we are not only learning not occurs only in the classroom, it occurs from the society. If we belongs to different religion and our religious places like our temple, church, masjid, they also give us various types of learning. And we also, if that is different, and if there is some narrow thinking. If in some places we are giving some narrow knowledge, some superstitious knowledge to the students, that also ultimately affect our learning process. Then languages. I have already told you, in India there is 22 languages are there, and 720 dialects are there. So it is very difficult to coordinate all the things, because in India there is 30 states, but 22 languages, then 720 dialects are there. So we know very well that students can learn through their mother tongue in a better way. But if we taught them in a regional language, at that time learning may happen. Then comes to the various types of learners. Various types of learners. There is various types of learners. Some are very normal, some are abnormal, some are mentally abnormal, some are emotionally abnormal, some are physically abnormal, some are intelligent, some are some have some learning disability. So various types of students are learning in the classroom. So how we recognize those students, and what methods, techniques should be followed to teach them. So various types of learners. First, we can differentiate, according into three types. First is your auditory learners. The auditory learners, they like to always listen. By listening, they learning. So, like, lecture method is very appropriate for them. They always like to listen. So, recording cassettes, recordings also help them for learning. But and then another category, the second category is the visual learners. What is visual learners? They like to see everything. After seeing the things, they like to learn. So they like some visual aids, like your television, maps, globes, pictures. So for these children, diagrams, pictures are used. So these children, they want concept mapping method is very much useful for them, because through concept mapping they learn very well. Then the third category is the tactile or the kinesthetic learner. They always love to, they are very active. They always want to learn through activities. So they are very, their energy level is very high. The kinesthetic learners, their energy level is very high. So they always want to do something. They are hyper. I must do something. I should not. ଆମେ ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଅସ୍ଥିର, କାହିଁକି ନା ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଏତେ ଏନର୍ଜି ଲେଭେଲ ଥାଏ, ସେମାନେ ଖାଲି ଅସ୍ଥିର ଥାନ୍ତି. I must do this, I must do that. So for those students, the teacher should engage them in various type of activities. So through activity, we can teach them. And we can give them ample opportunities to do things by themselves. And we can encourage them for the participation in science exhibitions, in various types of drama, dance, skit, field trips. And also, we can give them problem solving. We can teach them through problem solving method. Give them a problem and ask them just to solve the problem. So these are the various methods which is very much useful for the kinesthetic learners. Then come to the differently able learners, who are differently able, because so many, when we are, God has given us various types of psychological traits, but no two individuals are equal. There is individual difference. Some may be genius, some may be idiot or imbecile. So differently able learners means, differently able learners are those learners who, although have average or above average intelligence, face some difficulties in learning. They may also be creative, but are not able to perform well in reading, writing, or in mathematics. So we can say them as differently able. They may have intelligence, but they are not able to read or write properly. So learners with mental retardation is one type of them from the differently able learners. So the mentally retarded children, we may also call them as intellectual development disorder. IDD, intellectual development disorder students. And these students, according to the American Association of Mental Retardation, AAMR 2002, mental retardation is a disability characterized by significant limitations in intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior as expressed in conceptual, social, and practical adaptive skills. This disability originates before age 18. Before age 18, this MR type or the intellectual development disorder, IDD or MR type of problem that occurs before the age of 18. So, these learners, they are showing such type of behavior, or the disability maybe take long time, they take long time to learn language compared to normal learner. If a normal learner take 5 minutes to learn a particular topic, they take 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So they take long time to learn their languages. Then take long time in learning social skills also. They also take long time to learn the various types of social skills. How to behave with others. When some guest comes to our house, we are welcoming them in different way like namaskar or pranam. But they learn all these skills not they took very long time. Then they take long time to learn how to take care of their personal needs, such as using bathroom, getting dressed, eating food, etc. They also they are not able to tie up their shoelaces also. Then we can categorize these mentally retarded children into three types. One type is educable, second is trainable, and the third is custodial. The educable learners, that means if proper care will be taken, they can be educable. And their IQ level is approximately 50 to 70. So they are educable. But trainable means we can give them training, or after training they are able to do their personal works. Those are the learners who have an IQ approximately 20 to 49. And custodial type of learners, their IQ level is below 20 and they are not educable. Neither they are educable or they are trainable. So they always need the help of others. Then what is the role of children for mentally retarded children? First, the teacher should emphasize on demonstration rather than just giving verbal directions. So the teacher's role is he just demonstrate all the things before the students. Then only they will learn. Simple verbal direction will not work for them. Then present new information using pictures and provide the learners with hands-on materials. Teachers should show some pictures and they should touch it. What is this? What is that? Then only they can learn. Then break longer tasks into small steps. For these children, the teacher should not give big projects, small projects, or projects should be divided into small steps and given to the learners. Then give immediate feedback to the learner. After instruction, after demonstration, the teacher should give feedback, immediate feedback to these children. Otherwise, they will be unable to memorize all these things. Then the teacher should involve these learners in group activities or various club activities. The teacher's role is they should involve all these children into various types of activities. Then the second type of learners are learners with hearing impairment. Learners with hearing impairment. We can say them as the deaf children. So learners with hearing impairment, according to IDEA, Individual with Disability Education Act 1992, they said that impairment in hearing, whether permanent or fluctuating, that adversely affect child's educational performance. If a learner is unable to listen properly, automatically his learning process will be affected. So, who are those children? We can again categorize these hearing impaired children into four types. One is mild hearing loss. that is 25 to 50 decibels. And the moderate hearing loss, that is 51 to 70 decibels. Then severe hearing loss, 71 to 90 decibels. And profound hearing loss, that is 91 decibels and above. And for these children, what should be the role of the teacher? Here also the role of the teacher is very much important, because these children, they don't hear anything. So what they see, through observation only they learn. So what should be the role of the teachers? These teachers allow use of appropriate modern hearing aids. First thing is, the teachers should allow them to adopt some hearing aids. Then arrange seats in front, closer to the teacher and with other learners. The teachers should arrange seats in front of them. Then only they can hear something at least. Then provide teaching notes in advance to these learners so that they can read. Previously, teaching notes should be given. Then in their home task, they may complete all those things, and then when they come to the class, that may be helpful for them. Then provide new information using pictures and emphasizing on demonstration. So the teacher's role is like this. Then comes to the learners with visual impairment. So learners with visual impairment, two types of learners are coming in this category. One is blindness and another is low vision. Blindness is they are in a very difficult situation, and low vision people, we can allow them in inclusive classroom. So according to PWD, Persons with Disability Act 1995, blindness refers to a condition where a person suffers from any of the following conditions, namely total absence of sight or visual acuity not exceeding 6/60 or 20/200 Snell lengths in the better eye with correcting lenses. So we can call them as your blind children. But low vision children are those persons with low vision, means a person with impairment of visual functioning even after treatment or standard refractive correction, but who uses or is potentially capable of using vision for the planning or execution of a task with appropriate assistive devices. And what should be the role of the teacher for these visual impairment children? The teacher can follow some common strategies which the teacher may help these learners. First is use braille for blind learners. Braille is the Braille is the reading material for the blind learners. So the teachers should use braille for these blind learners. Then make change in instructional material and classroom environment of general classroom for teaching visually impaired learners. Then provide such reading materials to low vision learners which have large print size. Print size, if the print size we are following 12 font or 14 font. But for visually low vision students, we can use that as 18, 20, 24 font. Then only they can read the materials. Then arrange seats in front of the teacher or in the front bench, front line. Low vision students or the hearing impaired students, we should allow them to sit in front bench. Then allow use of computer in classroom so that learners with low vision are able to learn. So we should allow them some electronic devices in the classroom. Then only they will be able to learn. And allow use of low vision aids. Low vision aids are also nowadays available in the market. We should allow them to use those types of things. Then use audio learning materials. Audio learning materials also should be allowed to them. Then another category came, those are called as the specific learning disability. So what is specific learning disabilities? Under specific learning disabilities, 4 types of students are coming. First is dyscalculia, second is dyslexia, third is dysgraphia, and fourth is your dyspraxia. In the dyscalculia section, though the students or learners, those who have some mathematical disability, those are called as dyscalculia, and dyslexia reading learners who have reading disability, those are called as dyslexia, and writing disability in writing ability, those are called as dysgraphia, and motor coordination difficulties learners are called as dyspraxia. So first is the dyscalculia. So in dyscalculia, students, dyscalculia is a mathematical disability, and in this disability, the learner has difficulty in learning or comprehending mathematics. So those students have calculation problem. So those have problem in mathematics, not in other subject, only in mathematics, only in calculation. So what types of problems or what characteristics they are showing? Now they have a trouble in counting, they have trouble in arranging the things in order of sequence, and they shows difficulty in understanding fractions. They have trouble in understanding concepts of quantity, place, value, positive and negative values. Then they have trouble in understanding the concepts of months, weeks, and days. And they have trouble in adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So these are the problems. So what should be the role of the teacher? The teacher's role is also plays an important role to tackle these type of students. The teacher should use examples of mathematics which connect mathematics of real life. Example: counting fruits, counting vegetables, counting household objects, counting flowers, etc. Then teachers play mathematics related games which may connect numbers to everybody activity, and the learner could feel more comfortable with mathematics. Then the teacher can use problem solving method to solve mathematical problems. And also the teacher can use some visual aids while solving the problem. Visual aids can also be used for this type of children. So children and the teachers, first the teachers give some examples, and they play mathematical games. They give some mathematical problems. Then only it will be helpful for the students. Then what is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a reading disability. We the best example is if you watch that movie Three Idiots. Sorry, Tare Zameen Par. Tare Zameen Par, the small child has dyslexia, and he has reading disability. He read the 9 as 6, 3 as 8, and all letters he is writing all these letters in opposite direction. So dyslexia is characterized by trouble in reading, and it may also be referred to as reading disability. So, and the characteristics of this type of children are they have difficulty in reading words, writing words, or spelling words, and they have trouble in speaking, and they have also trouble in recalling familiar words. And they also show disparity between listening, reading, and comprehension of text. So, how we can tackle these types of students? As teachers, the teachers should encourage the learners to read different books of his or own choice. Like if somebody wants to read comics, somebody wants to read the books on players, somebody wants to read some spiritual books. Learners who have interest in those subjects, they are asked to learn or read those books, storybooks, newspaper articles, etc. Then teachers should refer the learners to a reading specialist. Then the teacher should use books with large print and having big gaps between lines because they have reading problem. So large gaps should be maintained, or their reading materials should be developed for them. Large fonts should be there, spacing should be proper, spacing should be there. Then only they will be able to learn. Then the teacher should use teaching methods which promotes meaningful learning and avoid rote memory. Then the teacher allow to use computer in classroom. Computer should be allowed for these children. Then allow to use of word processor and spell checker, which will be helpful for these learners who have trouble with reading and spelling. And the teacher should present reading materials in small units, not in a whole, in a part. Then comes the third category. Those are the dysgraphia. Dysgraphia means the writing disability children, and they have difficulty in writing correct spellings. They have problem to show poor spatial planning on paper, misuse of lines and margins. In one line, they are writing something. In the second line, they are writing something. There is no correlation between the two lines. One sentence is written in different lines. Then mix uppercase and lowercase letters. Then they have trouble to form letters. They have trouble to write on lines. They have difficulty in organizing ideas, and also they have trouble in thinking and writing at the same time. At the same time, they are not able. Multifunctions not happen in that. That means at the same time they are unable to think and write. And what should be the role of the teacher? The role of the teacher is, instead of written examination, the teacher should conduct oral examinations for these children because they have writing problem. So oral examinations should be taken by the teacher. Instead of writing of lecture notes, allow use of tape recorders as alternative. Then provide pre-printed notes to reduce writing books. Then avoid criticizing the learner for careless work. If the child is unable to write it properly, don't criticize them. That may work as a demotivator. So don't criticize these children. Then allow use of specially designed writing aids. The gapping must, the line spacing, high spacing should be there. Then only they will be able to write. Then give the learner additional time to finish schoolwork or take test. Then comes to the fourth type of fourth category. Those are the dyspraxia or the motor coordination difficulty. These children have motor coordination difficulty and they have difficulty in holding objects. They are unable to hold objects. After sometimes the object, the pen, the pencil, the mobile, that may fall down. So they have difficulty in holding objects. They face problems regarding balance and posture. They are unable to stand properly. They are unable to, some children, they are unable to sit properly. Some are unable to stand for more than 1 minute or 2 minutes. So this type of problems occurs in them. Then they have trouble in gripping pencil or pen, and due to this take extended time for writing letters. They are unable to grip the pencil or pen. That's why they take more time. Should be given to them. Then try to avoid games. They always try to avoid games which require hand-eye coordination. They are unable to. They are avoiding games which have both hand and eye coordination games. Then they have trouble in following and remembering instructions. So these are their characteristics, and what should be their role of the teacher? The teacher should praise the learner for participating in a new task. Whether he is able or unable, whether he is able to complete it or not, but the teacher should ask them to participate and praise them, reward them for his participation. Then reward him for even a bit progress. କିଛି ଛୋଟ କାମ ବି ଯଦି ସେ କରିପାରୁଛି, we should reward them, we should praise them. Then only they will be encouraged. Then allow the learner to use computer in classroom as typing would be easier for him. Then encourage the learner for physical activity because they have balance problem. That's why we should encourage them for physical activity. Then only they will be able to do their work properly. Then refer the learner for occupational therapy and speech therapy. So occupational therapy and speech therapy is very much needed for all these types of children. Then And the second chapter is your intelligence. So, what is intelligence? This is an important thing. As human beings, everyone wants this. My child should be intelligent. His IQ level should be high. Then only he will be able to secure 90 or 90% marks. This is the aspiration of 99% of parents nowadays. Everybody wants that my children's IQ should be more than 120, more than 130. So, what that intelligence means? Intelligence is a psychological trait. And according to dictionary, intelligence is the capacity to acquire and apply knowledge. So, what dictionary says? It is the capacity to acquire and apply our knowledge. But Binet, who is Binet? Alfred Binet is considered as the father of intelligence. He said, intelligence is a judgment, good sense, initiative, the ability to comprehend and to reason well and to adapt oneself to circumstances. Like Moon, another psychologist, he said intelligence is the flexibility on versatility in the use of symbolic processes. Then Stern, another psychologist, he said that intelligence is a general capacity of an individual consciously to adjust his thinking to new requirements. So many psychologists, they gave various types of definitions about intelligence. And we can conclude it with it that what intelligence is. Intelligence is the ability to learn. Intelligence is the ability to think abstractly. Intelligence is the ability to solve our problems. Then intelligence is the ability to perceive relationships. And intelligence is the ability to adjust and relate to one's environment. And intelligence is the ability to behave properly. So intelligence is a psychological trait which help us to think abstractly, to behave properly, to adapt properly, to perceive relationship. So intelligence is very much required in human beings' life, and not only in human beings' life, but also in animals, birds' life also. So according to Alfred Binet, the functions of mental functions includes judgment, reasoning, memory, and arithmetic reasoning. So Binet said that the mental functions should include judgment, reasoning, memory, and arithmetic reasoning. Then it comes to what is IQ? IQ or intelligence quotient. So what is IQ? IQ, the concept of mental age was developed by Binet, and it is determined by the performance of the child on the test. And W. Stern suggested the idea of introducing the term intelligence quotient, and Thurman introduced the concept to indicate ratio of mental age to chronological age. So IQ, to calculate IQ, we need the mental age and the chronological age, and we multiply it with 100. We multiply it 100 because by multiplying 100 we can avoid the decimal points. So what is MA? MA is the mental age. So how we can calculate the mental age? Through some psychological test. So many psychological tests are constructed by the psychologists to test the mental age of the students. If we find that the mental age of the student is 8 and his chronological age is also 8, and we multiply it with 100, then we get 100. 100. That means his IQ is 100, and his IQ is 100 means he is above average student. So the intelligence test is divided into two types, that is individual test of intelligence and group test of intelligence. Again, that individual test of intelligence is divided into verbal test of intelligence and non-verbal or performance test. So what is verbal test of intelligence? Verbal test of intelligence is when we require some written language, or when someone is able to read and write, we can test is intelligence through that type of test only. So only the educable or the literate person's mental age we can calculate through verbal test of intelligence. But in case of small children, foreigners, or children, those who don't know our language, for them only we apply the non-verbal test. Non-verbal test or performance test is based upon the symbols, pictures, graphs, and through those type of items we can uh, gauge the intelligence level of the student. Then, intelligence and its role in learning. So, what role intelligence is playing for learning? Why a learner needs intelligence for his learning? Is he able to learn without intelligence or not? No, we can say no. Intelligence is very much required for learning. Then, intelligence play a vital role in learning process, as you can help memorize materials connecting the topics to other topics. Then it will help to develop associations that will make things easier to remember. Then intelligence can also decrease learning. Einstein's memory was very poor. Even he is unable to remember his phone numbers and dates. But he is a genius. He is a very good scientist, a renowned scientist. So, what is the uses of intelligence test? Why we are constructing intelligence test and why we are using these intelligence tests? Why? Now, because for the identification of intellectual deviates, feeble-minded people, gifted children, and underachievers to identify. Because in the classroom, so many types of children or learners are there. Teachers should identify them, and when we identify the different types of learners, then it is very much easier for the learner, for the teacher to divide them into groups. Gifted children, they are in a group. Feeble-minded children, slow learners, and then your feeble-minded children, we just divide into groups, and it is easier for the teacher to teach them accordingly, according to their mental level. Then it can be used for the purpose of admission to various courses. Then intelligence tests are also, it can be used for classification of peoples in different homogeneous groups. And it is also helpful for prediction of future progress of a student. For prediction of future progress of a student, we can also use intelligence tests. For providing vocational guidance. If someone wants to be a mechanic, someone wants to be an engineer, someone wants to be a pilot. So for vocational purpose also, we use the intelligence test. Then ascertaining the magnitude of individual difference. No two individuals are equal. Even identical twins also, we found so many differences. So ascertaining the individual difference, we are using intelligence test. Then it is used for the preparation of case study. Because case study method is very much necessary nowadays. So teachers nowadays, they are also maintaining the cumulative record cards. So for all these purposes, intelligence tests are also needed. Then comes to the next chapter. That is your emotional EQ. Like IQ, EQ is also very much necessary. IQ is a mental ability, but EQ our emotional quotient. Like when for learning, we are not or the mental psychological traits are not required for learning. Some emotional or spiritual things are also required. For this, our father of the nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji said that by education, I mean all round, drawing out the best in child and man, body, mind, and spirit. So, body, mind, and spirit. Mind refers to our intelligence, body that refers to our physical development, and spirit that refers to our spiritual development. So, all round development of a learner is possible only through when all the development occurs in all the spheres, physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, spiritually. When child will be developed, then only we can say that all-round development is possible. So in learning process also, not only IQ, EQ is also very much necessary, because emotions plays an important role in our life. Mind and heart both are important, not only mind. Our emotion is very much important. If there is a death of a parents, that may hamper the learning process of the child. He may fail in the class, but after his father's death, he may fail in the class. So not only mind, our emotion also plays an important role. So the teachers should be very much careful about the emotional development of the students, and he should handle these students carefully. Then come our spiritual quotient. What is SQ? That is spiritual quotient. Not only our mental status or mental state of mind, mind setup, or our emotional setup, our spiritual development or spiritual sphere also hampers our learning, or they have a influence in our learning process. So spiritually also we should boosted them for spiritual development. So the teacher's role is very important both for the development of IQ, EQ, and SQ. So what is IQ? So IQ, the operations are knowledge, understanding, application, analysis, planning, and execution. And what is EQ? EQ is teamwork, leadership, awareness, action, relationship, management, emotional well-being, physical well-being, optimism, skills, and experience. All these qualities comes under our emotional quotient. Then SQ, our evaluation, synthesis, judgment, insight, creativity, problem solving, intuition, then breakthrough, thinking, inspiration, vision, commitment, then resilience, self-belief, and happiness. All this comes under our SQ. So not only our IQ, our EQ, SQ are also important. Then what is multiple intelligence? We can say intelligence doesn't mean one is very good in learning. One who secures more than 95 or 99% of mark, we may not say he is intelligent. Intelligence means, that is multiple intelligence means, some may be intelligent in verbal linguistic, maybe in mathematics, maybe in music, maybe in natural sphere, maybe in existential sphere. So intelligence areas are verbal linguistic, logical, mathematical, spatial, bodily, kinesthetic, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalist, and existential. And one who is verbal linguistic, he is strong in reading, writing, telling stories, memorizing dates, thinking in words. And he likes to read, write, talk, memorize, work at puzzles. And the examples are, they are the poets, writers, orators, and communicators. So the verbal linguistic, they are the poets, writers, orators, and communicators. They have verbal linguistic intelligence. And those who have logistical mathematic intelligence, generally the mathematicians and logicians, they are logical mathematical intelligence area, and they are strong in mathematics, reasoning, logic, problem solving. And the spatial intelligence level, they are strong in reading maps, charts, drawing images, puzzles, imaging things, and visualization. And generally the sailors, surgeons, sculptors, and painters, they belong to this spatial category of intelligent persons. Then bodily kinesthetic persons, they are generally dancer, athletes, surgeons, craft people, they belongs to this bodily kinesthetic intelligence area people, and they are strong in athletic, dancing, acting, craft, and using tools. And the musical intelligence area people, generally musicians and composers, they belong to this musical intelligence area, and they are strong in singing, picking up sound, remembering melodies and rhythms. Then the interpersonal intelligence area, under interpersonal intelligence area, generally the salespeople, teachers, clinicians, politicians, religious teachers, they come under this interpersonal intelligence area, and they are very strong in understanding people, leading, organizing, communicating, resolving conflicts, and selling. They are strong in all these characteristics. Then the interpersonal intelligence area, they are very strong in understanding self, recognizing strength, then making distinctions, and identifying flora and fauna. So the naturalists, they are the explorers of forests, mountains, and sea. And the existential intelligence area people, they are generally the social scientists and spiritualists. They are very strong in spiritual intelligence, and they likes to understand persons, society, situation, and circumstance. And they learn best through social media. So this is all about our multiple intelligence. So come to the next chapter, that is your personality. So what personality is? Generally, personality in an abstract form, we say he has a very dashing personality, he has a very good personality, he has not a very good personality. So that means this personality always, when we are saying that he is a dashing personality or he is a very good personality, that means we are only saying by looking his outward appearance. But outward appearance is not our personality. Personality is something more than this. Personality is the personality is the dynamic organization within the individual of those psycho-physical systems that determines his unique adjustment to the environment. This is said by Alport. Alport in 1961 is considered as the father of personality. He said that personality is the dynamic or organization within the individual of those psycho-physical systems that determines his unique adjustment to the environment. So in this definition, there are three important words are there. One is dynamic, another is determined, and another is unique adjustment. What that dynamic is? Personality is a dynamic organism. What dynamic organism? Here dynamic denotes that personality is undergoing a constant change, but still organized. A constant change, but it is organized in an organized setup. And it constitutes two types of systems, that is psycho, mental, and physical. So personality is not outward appearance or our physique. Personality is not our intelligence, but personality is a mix of these two. Psychophysical means mental and physical system that interact with internal and external environment. That is dynamic. And what is determined? Determined means it lays emphasis that it is the psychophysical system that activates the organism for action. Determines means it lays emphasis that it is the psychophysical system that activates the organism for action. Okay. Then what is the unique adjustment to the environment? Because we are all unique. No two individuals are equal. There is individual difference. Even the behavior of two identical twins also differs. Why? Now, because no two individuals are equal in any psychological trait or in any behavior setup. So, unique adjustment means the individual to his environment means that each individual employs different methods of adjustment resulting in unique adjustment. Take an example. In this pandemic period, we are facing a lots of problems. Okay. So many people they think in Bhubaneswar there is so many corona patients are there. I should not be here. They move to their own villages. In my own village, no corona patient is there, so I am safe there. They are just going to their village. Some people they also adjust by taking all precautionary measures. They are using masks, they are washing their hands frequently, they are keeping social distance. Some people they don't want to go outside, they just stay home, stay safe mood. So our behavior, our adjustment pattern is different from one another. Our thinking process is different from one another. So unique adjustment means according to our intelligence level, our behavior, according to our thinking process, our behavior changes. So no two individuals show same type of behavior. We all show different type of behavior. That is our unique adjustment to the environment. And according to Guilford, J.P. Guilford, in 1959, he defines personality. An individual's personality is his unique pattern of traits. A trait is in any distinguishable, relatively enduring way in which one individual differs from another. So according to Guilford, he said, no, we cannot say that I am zero in psychological traits. Psychological traits are always present in some form, not in zero form. Nobody is zero in any psychological trait. That may be 20, 30, 40, but nobody is zero in any psychological trait. So that trait which is present in the individual, that is different from one another. And when our traits are different, our behaviors also differs according to our psychological trait. If I am intelligent, then I behave intelligently. I am not behaving idiotly. I should behave intelligently. Then comes what personality is. The personality is unique and personality is a product of its own functioning. What we do today depends on our accumulated experiences of the past. And personality is what makes individual unique. Personality is what makes individual unique. Always think that no two individuals are equal. I am unique. And always, as a teacher, you should help the students, help your learners to feel that I am unique and I am the best. I am unique and I am the best. That is the main motto. That should be the main motto of the teacher. That he should encourage the students to think like this. I am unique, I am the best. I should behave in the best manner. So, what are the different theories of personality? There are seven theories of personality, and mainly we learn three types of personality theories. One is type theory, trait theory, psychoanalytic theory. What is type theory? In um, So in the past, we categorize the persons into three types by taking the in our Indian scriptures there is writing Vata, Pitta and Kapha, or Vata, Pitta, Kapha means our blood, yellow bile, mucus and black bile. By taking all these factors, we can decide what type of personality someone is possessing. If a person have his blood is more blood is in his body, then he comes under sanguine type, and his characteristics are very active and hopeful. They are very hopeful and active persons. Those who have the blood content is high, then if in their body blood, they are not bloodless body, they are bloodful body, because due to bloodlessness what happens? Raktahinata. They are not hopeful. So the blood, those persons who have sufficient blood, then their temperament is sanguine and their characteristics are active and hopeful. And yellow eye persons, they are choleric and they are irritable and quick to anger. They are quick to anger, chidchida, ragijiba. Then the mucus, kapha dehi jo manamku ame kohuche, they are phlegmatic and they are calm and temperamentally sluggish. They are very calm and temperamentally they are sluggish. And black bile persons, they are melancholic and their characteristics are depressed and they are slow and pessimistic. They are not optimistic. But those who have more blood, they are very much hopeful or optimistic. But the black bile persons, they are optimistic. Nirasavadi जोटाको ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହୁଛେ, depressed or pessimistic. But this type theory is not accepted by so many psychologists because it is not scientifically proved sometimes. So then comes the constitutional type. In constitutional type, we can categorize into also 4 types. Those are, first is your picnic type. Their characteristics are, they are stocky, full-chested and popular. And the aesthetic type personality, they are weak, tall, sensitive and thin. Weak, thin and sensitive. And the athletic type, they are very strong. And fourth is dysplastic type, they are mixed type. So this is all about your type theory. We divided the people into various types. Then somatotype, according to somatotype, people are divided into 3 types. They are endomorphic, mesomorphic and ectomorphic. And in Sprenger's type, people are divided into 6 types. They are theoretical, economic, aesthetic, then social, political and religious. And according to Jung's typology, Jung divided the personality into 2 types. One is introvert, another is extrovert. Introvert type persons, they introvert type persons, they just withdraw into himself. They are very shy nature people. They want to live in isolation. But extrovert type, they are very much sociable. They are outspoken. So this is all about Jung's typology. That is introvert and extrovert. Then Freud's typology, that is oral erotic type, oral passive type, then oral sadistic type and anal type. So this is Freud's typology. Then, so this is all about your theories of personality. So now we can say that personality, what is the impact of personality on learning process, or what should be the role of the teachers for the development of the personality of the learners. First is, the children of same age differ so much in their personalities, abilities, interest and general adjustment that is highly desirable to adapt the school to these individual differences. So the role of the teacher is to, within a heterogeneous group, appeal can be made to the individual child by having him take appropriate parts in different classroom activities. So teachers should give ample opportunity to take part in various activities which is organized in the school. Then a learner has personality, physical and educational weakness and strength. As a rule, a learner will benefit most by developing his individual talents and interests and simultaneously overcome his weakness sufficiently so that they will not handicap him. So the teacher should take care of all these things. If a child is not sociable, so it is a duty of the teacher. He should involve that child in various social activities. He should involve those students in various activities which is organized by the school, like your science exhibition, your eco club, your music classes, your dance classes, your Arabic classes, what any type of co-curricular activities which is organizing in your school, the teacher should take care of these children, and he should involve all these students for their all-round development or for their development of their. Then comes to learner's preparedness. So what is learner's preparedness? So we know in Thorndike's law also law of readiness means unless or until we are ready to do a thing, nobody is able to force you. No force will help you to do that. So it is an intrinsic process. It is an internal process. Preparedness. प्रस्तुति जो ओडिया बोलते हैं preparedness for readiness, that is very much needed. So learning for learning, preparedness is very much necessary. If the teacher sees that children they are not prepared for learning, so in our weird practice teaching, what we do, generally we say a story or we sing a song just to prepare them mentally to come to the class, or their mental state of mind should be for learning. So, learner's preparedness means readiness to learn anything which is new for the individual, which is new, which is novel. The learners generally show preparedness, curiosity to learn those things. So, the law of readiness means that when a learner is ready for a modifiable connection and is ready to act and to do, so it is satisfying, whereas lack of readiness leads to dissatisfying act. And readiness is dependent upon both maturation and experience. Readiness is also a psychological thing, and it always depends upon maturation and experience. So, what is the classroom implications of learner's preparedness? Or what should be the role of the teacher in the classroom? The teacher should know when the learner is prepared to learn. At that time only, he start his learning, start his teaching. Unless and until the teachers are prepared to learn, then it may not be fruitful. So, the teacher should know when the learner is prepared to learn. Then the second thing is, as a teacher, you should analyze the factors which may be hindering the preparedness of the learner. So identify those factors and try to overcome those. Sometimes what happens, some teachers, they are very, the students, they just unable to accept those rudeness. So for that reason, sometimes some children, they do not come to the classroom. They are not prepared to, I have not finished my homework, sir will punish me, I will not go to the classroom. So the teachers should know that which behavior is not acceptable by the learners or which hindrances the preparedness of the learner. He should know. Then, interest of the learner in the subject content is one of the important factors affecting learners' preparedness. Then, sometimes learners with different learning styles are asked to learn with similar methodology taught by the teacher. Because I've already told you that so many types of students are there. So, which technique, which method is more appropriate, more applicable for one group of students? Some students, they want to learn by problem solving method, some by observation method, some by lecture method, some by discussion method, some by both observation discussion method, some by dramatic method. So the teachers should recognize to which method students show their preparedness for learning. Then comes to the chapter motivation. It is also a very important factor for learning. Motivation, what is motivation? Motivation is a thing which help us for learning. Without motivation, we may not learn. Or preparedness will not come if we are not motivated. So motivation is very much required for us, and motivation comes from the Latin word movers, which means movement of activities or movement of our behavior. And what motivation is? Motivation, it is an internal state of force or process which arouses or initiates actions on the part of the organism and directs, regulates, and maintains it with a view to attaining the goals. To attaining the goals, some internal instincts which actively acts in our body to learn. So it is an internal state of force or process which arouses or initiates actions on the part of the body and directs, regulates, and maintains it with a view to attaining our goals. Then it is an arousal state within an organism which energizes, directs, drives, controls, and sustains and persists the behavior to reach the goal. So, what fundamental forces are there, or which fundamental forces works for motivation? Those are the needs, drives, and motives or incentives. Needs, drives, or motives or incentives. Those are work as the fundamental forces for motivation. Then we can say there are two types of motivation. One is intrinsic motivation and another is extrinsic motivation. So what is intrinsic motivation? Intrinsic motivation means I do a piece of work because I enjoy it. That's why I am doing. That is intrinsic motivation. मते चित्र करिया भल लागे मते लोकन को देखिया भल लागे लोक माने कोन कहले I don't care. I like it. When I complete a work, I like to see that work and I become satisfied. But extrinsic motivation is I do a piece of work partly because of external reward. प्रशंसा मिलिबो बा किछि मु पुरस्कार पाइबी. Outward reward or outward praise that works as extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation, that is the satisfaction level of yourself. You do a particular thing, and after the completion of that thing, when you see that एते सुंदर मु सिलाई करछि एते सुंदर मु बुणीछि एते सुंदर मु चित्र करछि एते सुंदर मु झोटी पकेइछि एते सुंदर मु रांधीछि, I am very much happy with my work, my job. That is intrinsic motivation. किंतु केते बढ़िया रांधीछु मा केते बढ़िया रांधीछु केते बढ़िया झोटी पकेइछु केते बढ़िया सिलाई କରିଛୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କଠୁ ଶୁଣିଛେ ପ୍ରଶଂସା, that is extrinsic motivation. So what are the techniques of motivation? So how we motivate our students? What techniques should be followed by the teacher for motivating the students? First is the level of aspiration. So the level of aspiration should be developed by the students and the teacher should facilitate to develop their aspiration level. Then only they will be motivated to learn. Then second is developing curiosity and interest. Curiosity and interest. Why? How? Where? When? So all these questions comes in our mind. That is our curiosity. So this curiosity level or interest level should be developed by the teachers. Then only motivation will, the students will be motivated. Then reward and punishment. This also act as an important reward and punishment. These are two things which also motivate the learners to learn. Then praise and blame. If we are doing good job, we are praised by others. If we are doing a wrong job, we are blamed by others. Generally, praise works more, blame works more. Still, if a child is very sincere, honest, and if he do a wrong thing and teachers blame him why you have done this, that also work as a motivator. He promised that I will not do this thing again and again. So both praise and blame work as motivating factors for learning. Then knowledge of result or feedback. Knowledge of result or feedback, that also motivating factors. Then grades and marks. If someone gets good grade or good mark, 95%, A grade, O grade, then he becomes motivated for learning. Then competition and cooperation. Competition is a very good technique for motivating students. We are even in when we are doing learning, when we are doing anything, that competition also works. Either ସେ କେତେ ମାର୍କ ରଖିଛି କେତେ ବଢିଆ ପଢୁଛି ତୁ ଏତେ ମାର୍କ ରଖିଲି ତତେ ସାଇକେଲ କିଣିଦେବି ଆମେ ଏମିତି କହୁଛେ ନା ଆମ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ that is a motivating competition competitive mind is securing 90% you just secure but don't impose upon them. Competitive mind should be developed but no imposition. Then success and failure. Success and failure, that also works as motivating factor. When we get success, we are motivated, and when we also get failure, then that also works as a motivating. Next time fail heavy nine. I must do this work properly. I must stood fast in my class. Failure is the pillar of success. That feeling comes into our mind and it becomes as motivating factor. Then novelty. When we are able to do some new and novel things, totally new, a novelty, that gets motivation. Then active participation. When we are actively participating in one thing, and that automatically arouses motivation. That motivates us. Then provision of co-curricular activities. So co-curricular activities also motivates the students. So only curricular activities is not sufficient for the students learning. Co-curricular activities in our schools, we are arranging debate competitions, art competitions, sports, and through these co-curricular activities, they are also motivated for learning. Then use of audio-visual aids. Audio-visual aids also works as a good motivator. Your pictures, charts, graphs, maps, computer-assisted learning, all these works as good motivator. Then use your principles of pleasure and pain. This also acts as a good motivator. Then self-fulfilling prophecy. Then arouse a need to achieve excellence. I should do excellently. I should be first. I should do it in an excellent manner. That also arouses. Then life-related learning. We know very well that not learning is not completed in a particular stage, rather it continues throughout our life. So we should stick to our life related learning. That also creates motivation for learning. Then comes to the aptitude. So what is aptitude? Aptitude refers to a set of abilities essential for acquiring knowledge and skills specific to an area of performance. Precisely, it denotes the set of abilities required to perform a specialized activity. So, aptitude means the ability to do a particular job or essential abilities for acquiring knowledge. That is our aptitude. So, how aptitude help us? Now, through aptitude, we can consider for which job we are very much capable for which particular job. So aptitude always help us do new type of things. So through aptitude, we can consider that he has clerical aptitude and he should take training for a computer operator or clerk. He has some engineering aptitude and so for to know the aptitude of the students, so many aptitude tests also done by the teachers. So psychologists they have developed so many aptitude tests, and through those tests, they are able to know the aptitude level of the students and different types of aptitude levels. Then they uh, help the students for different vocations and different jobs. So, what are the implications of aptitude for teachers? First is aptitude includes both inborn capacity and effects of environment on the individual. Now, the second thing is learning in any area is conditioned by learners' readiness to learn. First is aptitude includes both inborn capacity and the effects of environment of the individual. And the second is learning in any area is conditioned by the learner's readiness to learn. And the third thing is a specific aptitude in form of talent may show itself early and respond reality readily to training. Some people they have aptitude for dance, aptitude for mathematical reasoning, aptitude for clerical reasoning. So according to their aptitude, they should be placed in various types of jobs. So the teacher's role is he should know the aptitude level of the students and accordingly he guide them for their future performance. Then comes to the attitude. So what is attitude? Attitude is a personality trait which indicates individuals' likes or dislikes, and attitude influences the way an individual behaves towards an object, institution, or a person. An attitude towards a particular object is influenced by parents, teachers, schools, and society in which the individual lives. Generally, our attitude in our early childhood age is influenced by our parents. If parents said that in that shop good things are not available, then and our attitude is that shopkeeper is not good, his goods are not good. So in our childhood, our attitude towards a particular object, towards a particular theory, towards a particular situation depends upon the views of our parents. But later on, when we are matured enough to analyze, to generalize, to synthesize things, then our attitude develops, and that may be positive, may be negative. People have some positive attitude for something and for some negative attitude for something. So attitude differs from person to person. No two individuals are also, though it is a psychological trait, so it is also differs from person to person. And according to Alford, attitude is a mental neural state of readiness organized through experiences and exerting a directive or dynamic influence on the individual response to all objects and situations to which it is related. So attitude may be positive or negative. And it is the duty of our parents that or our teachers, they should facilitate the students to develop some positive attitude towards our society. So values should be inculcated among the learners, then only positive attitude be developed. Then creativity. So what is creativity? Creativity is also an important psychological characteristics of human beings. What that creativity is? So creativity is an important thing. Creativity means creativity refers to the ability of an individual to create, discover, or produce something that is new, novel, and unique, and which is not previously known to anybody, and which have some social value. some social utility. Creativity means which have some usefulness. If I invented a machine which have some utility for the society, that it is, we can call that is a creativity. If I invented a thing, atom bomb, I may not say that is creativity, which is for the destruction of the humanity. So creativity is an unique trait when we are able to develop some unique ideas, unique thoughts, or create, discover, produce some new things for the welfare of the society, that is called. So creativity is a very important thing which should be inculcated among the learners. So creativity, very simple, refers to the ability or capacity to produce work that is novel, appropriate, and useful or valuable for the society. So what are the characteristics of creativity? The first thing is creativity that exists in individual, there exists individual difference in creativity. Individual difference is there in creativity. No two individuals are equal in their creative talents, even the identical twins also. Not that one twin is showing uh, creativity, he can compose a music. Not necessary that the another sibling he should be very good in music. He may be very good in sports. So creativity, in creativity we see there is individual difference. Then creativity is universal, but the pace of like the pace of learning, the pace of creativity, creative development is different. But creativity is universal. It happens in each and every individual. Someone may be very creative in cooking, very creative in writing, very creative in painting, very creative in sports, very creative in teaching, very creative in social activity. But there is individual difference. Then creativity leads to production of something new. In creativity, there is no copying, no xeroxing. We are not copying anybody. Our ideas is very much new, novel, and which is unknown to others. That is totally my own idea. I am not copying anybody's idea. That is creativity. So creativity is a process. Why it is a process? In process means that continues for a longer period. So creativity doesn't end in a particular age or in a particular stage. So creativity, like learning, creativity also continues from birth to death. We learn so many things and also we create so many things. Our creativity happens in all stages of our life. Then it is adventurous and open thinking. Creative persons, they always think very openly. Then, and they are very much adventurous. Unless and until we are adventurous, no creative production will happen. No discovery, no invention. So when we are inventing a thing, so many obstacles may come. If you are inventing, when some scientists came into the eyes of the human or society, at that time so many obstacles may come. But they are very much adventurous. They face the problems boldly, and then the new thought, the novel thought, come to the front. Then it is both innate and acquired. Creativity is both acquired trait and also an innate trait. Then creativity is a means as well as an end in itself. Then creativity carries ego involvement. In creativity, ego also involved. Because I must do this. I am very much capable to do this. Some ego is involved in creativity. And its scope is very wide. Creativity's scope is very wide. singing, dancing, painting, cycling, so many extracurricular activities that is involved. So that is very wide. The scope is very wide. Then creative and intelligence are two distinct attributes. We may say that all intelligent persons are not creative, or all creative persons are also not intelligent. Yes, all creative persons have some intelligence because intelligence works for creative production. But we may not say that all intelligent persons are creative or all creative persons are intelligent. Then creativity is related to intelligence. Sometimes it is related to intelligence. If a person has intelligence characteristics and creative characteristics, then his creativity may develop more and more. Then creativity and school achievement are negatively correlated. Not that a creative child will do very well in his school achievement, in school performance. It may happen, may not be happen. He may be creative. He can able to repair a mobile. He is able to compose a music. He may be a very good sportsman. He is able to invent new things. But he may not secure high grades or good marks in his achievement test. Then creativity and anxiety go together. They always go together. Anxiety. I must do this. I must do that. Anxiety is always mixed with creativity. Then sociability and creativity are not correlated. But sociability and some creative persons are sociable, some sociable persons are not creative. Sometimes some creative persons they want to live in isolation. They invent so much things. So they like to live in isolation. So sociability and creativity are not correlated. Then creativity is multi-dimensional concept. It is a multi-dimensional concept. So many other characteristics are there like fluency, flexibility, originality, elaboration, redefinition, all things are also included in creative activity. So this is all about creativity. And what is the characteristics of a creative person? Generally, we see a creative person, he has originality in ideas and expression. He has originality in ideas and expression. He has original thinking. He always put original thoughts, original ideas, original concepts, not copied by anyone. Then he has strong memory power. He is he is a he has a high degree of awareness, enthusiasm, and concentration. And curiosity level is high. Then his sensitivity to problems. He is very much sensitive to problems. Then tendency to manipulate ideas. Then he has the capacity, he has fluency power, he has flexibility in thought, perception, and actions. Then he has a better adaptability. Then the lack of tolerance for boredom and discomfort. He never feels boredom. He always active. He always doing new things. He always in an active position to create new things. So he never feel boredom. Then ability to take independent decision. Always creative persons have the ability to take independent decision. They never dependent upon others. Then he has openness to new ideas. He has ability to transfer learning from one situation to another. He has the capability of imagination. He is a creative imagination. Then diversity and divergence of thought. He has diversity and divergence of thought. And he is tolerance. He is very much tolerance, or he is tolerance power and ambiguity for ambiguity. And he has preference for complexity and incompleteness. He always likes to complete a thing. Then he has resourcefulness. He is extroverted. He has tendency to manipulate ideas. Power of elaboration is with him.
and less tradition bound. He is less tradition bound. He is very much broader minded, not narrow minded. He is less tradition bound. Then he is committed to work, more persevere than judge. Then above average, he is above average style. Then he feels pride in creation. Ego involvement is there, I have already told you. So he always feels pride in creation. I am doing this. I have done this. This is my work. This is my creation. This is my invention. So pride in creation. She feels pride in creation. Then enthusiasm for novelty of design. He is very much enthusiastic when he creates a new thing or new design. Then he has absence of fear. He is very much fearless. Then he is a very good aesthetic judgment. He has a very good aesthetic judgment. He has a sorry, he is very good aesthetic judgment. Then he has a very good self-respect. He is very much self-respect, self-discipline, and he has keen sense of justice. He has a very keen sense of justice. He never likes injustice. Then high obligations and responsibilities. He is very much responsible. Then he has spontaneity and grace of expression. Then the capacity of fantasies and daydream. He is a daydreamer. Then he has the ability to integrate the opposites. He can integrate between different types of things. He has the ability to integrate opposite values, and he has respect for the opinion of others. He knows different people's opinion is also important. So he always respect for the opinion of others, and he proposes alternatives for solution. So the problem solving capacity is more in creative children. They have the capacity to solve the problem because they are tolerant, they are patientful, they have hope. Then they proposes alternatives for solution. Then they displays a high degree of risk-taking behavior. They are very much risk-taking or adventurous. Then they have high self-concept. Their self-concept is also very high. Then they are asked uncomfortable questions. They ask uncomfortable questions. They are very much broad-minded. They are very much open-minded. That's why they sometimes ask very much uncomfortable questions. They have the power. They are able to ask some uncomfortable questions also. They don't think otherwise. They are very much open-minded. So these are the characteristics of creative persons or the creative child. So what are the stages of creative thinking? First is preparation, then incubation, illumination, evaluation, and revision. These are the 5 stages of creativity. Then what tests are there for creative tests? Minnesota test of creative thinking, Guilfort's divergent thinking instrument, remote association test, then SC test for creative ability, then Torrance test of creative thinking. So many creative tests are available in the market to test the creativity level of the students. Then come to the next chapter, that is your interest. So interest is another thing which also works for learning. So without interest, learning may not happen. So interest is a commonly used expression in our day-to-day life, and interest has a great influence on human behavior. So the children's interest can be identified through how we identify the interest level of the students. The children's interest can be identified through observation of their activities, through the question they ask, the topics of their conversation, the books they read, and their spontaneous drawings, their wishes, their self-reports. So from through these things we can know about the interest of the child. If a child observes activities like he is always observing the sports, that means he has interest in sports. A child is observing the dance programs or song programs, that means he has interest in dance or song. Then if a child likes to read books, then he has interest in books. So it is the duty of the parents, the teachers, they should know the interest level of the students. Then only it is very much easier for them to impart learning according to his or her interest level. Then comes to our curiosity. Now, what is curiosity? According to Albert Einstein, he said the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. So we should not stop our children. Hey, don't ask such type of students. चुप बस काय पाटी करछु बेसी प्रश्न पचारछि पंडित होय गेलानी. We are sometimes handling our students in this manner. If we are in not a good mood, if something happened to the teachers, sometimes we discourage our students to ask questions. This is not a good practice. So we should encourage our students for asking questions. When they ask questions, that means we are able to know their curiosity level, their interest level, their intelligence level. So through asking questions or through questions, we are able to know the learner's innate potentialities. If they are curious, why this happened, what is this, why this happened, where, how, what, when, all these, when children or learners ask like this, that means they have curiosity for learning. So as a teacher, we have the moral responsibility to encourage our students to ask questions. That means we, as teachers, will be able to know that they are very much curious, they are interested for learning, or they are preparedness for learning. So when they are prepared or readiness is there, learning will be fruitful. So as a teacher, we should give them ample opportunity to ask questions, and through those questions we will be able to know what is their interest level, in which area they have interest. So interest, teachers should know the interest level of the students. If he is interested in mathematics, if he is interested, because in latter period we are guiding our students in +2 level, we are guiding our students. You are very good in mathematics and science, then better you go in science stream. You are very good in literature subject, better you go in art stream. You have some economic ideas, you have some other calculative ideas, then you go in commerce stream. So it is very much necessary to know the level of the students, the curiosity level, the interest level of the students. Then what is the strategies to promote curiosity? How a teacher will promote curiosity level of the students. So curiosity prepares the brain for learning. Curiosity prepares the brain for learning. Then the second thing is curiosity makes subsequent learning more rewarding. Then curiosity, asking the right questions. So by asking the right questions, we will be able to know the curiosity level of the students. Then by curious yourself. Sometimes we should be curious for yourself. How I am doing this, whether I am, when I am writing something, whether it is good or not. We should be curious about our all types of activities and ask questions and answer questions. That is another method. So what would happen? What would it be like to? Why did? How? What? All these comes under curious practice. So as a teacher, we should help our students to develop their curiosity level, develop their readiness for learning, develop their creativity, develop their intelligence. Although intelligence is a psychological trait, still through learning we can develop their intelligence level, creativity level, their curiosity, their interest level. Then only successful learning will be happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nanda. You are right on time. It is exactly 4 p.m. and you have completed the entire block within this short period, but that too very effectively. And I hope our students must have understood fully the different presentations which have been made there in the study material, and of course the presentations that you made in this particular online classroom. So now it is time for interaction, students. If you have any questions, please write those questions in the chat box. If you have already written, let me see, and let us go one by one, so that we will take up those questions and start discussing. What is socio-emotional intelligence? Ajay Kumar Mahapatra is asking, what is socio-emotional intelligence?
Okay. Socio-emotional intelligence means the adaptability or the quality to adjust properly in the environment. And socio-emotional intelligence means basically man or human beings are social animals, and we need some intelligence to adapt properly in social situation. And emotional involvement should be there when we are interacting in the society. If we are interacting with a neighbor and we came to know his father expired on the previous days, so we should be very much soft spoken, we should be empathetic towards his situation, then only we can adapt properly in the situation. So socio emotional intelligence means we should understand properly the social situation, and we should understand the emotional status of all human beings, and accordingly we should interact. That is socio emotional intelligence.
Priyadarshini is asking about emotional quotient and spiritual quotient.
Okay. Emotional quotient means like our intelligence quotient. For learning, our IQ is very much needed. Not only IQ, our EQ and SQ are also very much needed. I have already told you that Gandhiji has said that by education I mean all round drawing out the best in child and man, body, mind, and spirit. So, body, mind, and spirit all are equally responsible for the all-round development of the children. Likewise, for learning also, not only IQ, EQ and SQ are also very much essential. So, EQ means our emotional quotient. Emotional quotient means like our intelligence, like our IQ, emotional quotient is very much necessary. And emotional quotient means we should be very much normal in our emotional state of mind. So our emotions also plays an important role in our learning process. Like if a child stood fast in his class, but due to the demise of his father, he got fail in different subjects. That means due to his emotional instability, his learning process hampers. So emotional quotient means like intelligence, emotions also plays an important role in our learning process. So emotional quotient means we should possess a uh, equilibrium level of emotions like our intelligence. And spiritual quotient means spiritually also we must be normal. We should have a very adjustable spiritual state of mind, because like our intelligence or our emotion, spiritual things also affects our learning process, because we belongs to different religions, and from our religions we also learn so many spiritual things, and that also became permanent in our thinking process. Oh, so when we are very much adaptive to those situations, then only we are very much adaptive to the new learning situation. So learning will be possible when intelligence, emotions, and spirit or our spiritual growth works together.
Yeah, actually, I would like to add a line to it. Dear students, you must agree with me that in order to have a balanced personality, a person should have developed in these three spheres equally. Intellectually, he should be developed. Emotionally, he should be developed, as well
Sir,
as he
sir,
should be developed
sir.
spiritually. You see, this emotion naturally plays a prominent role in teaching learning situation. It may be on the part of the learner or it may be on the part of the teacher, isn't it? So, you must have heard about the three important emotions like anger, fear, and love. How these three important emotions play there in our, day-to-day life. So you understand the effect of these emotions, you understand the effect of intelligence, you understand the effect of the spiritualism or the spiritual feelings or the spiritual character in us, and then you treat the child accordingly so that not only the child will grow and develop in a desirable way, but also you'll be successful in your mission and vision as a teacher. Okay, there is another question by Santosh Gochayat. He is asking about autism and paraplegia. Paraplegia. I think this too refers to this mental disorder, autism and paraplegia. Paraplegia. Autism and paraplegia.
Yes, they are unable to speak.
Yes,
Autistic
they're unable to
children,
speak
they are
because of
unable to
this is
speak.
also a kind of mental retardation.
Yes, autistic children, they are unable to speak.
What about paraplegia? What about
Kind
paraplegia?
of mental disorder. Disorder in physical, um, what our physical motor development, motor organisms
Motor
in our
disability. Okay, that means it is a kind of motor disability,
motor.
isn't it?
Yes,
Okay. The descriptions must be there in the study material. Dear students, since you are asking these two questions, I would advise you to kindly go through your study material and simply read it, because the materials are presented in a very simplified manner. Uh, uh, if there will
Sir,
be further difficulty in understanding, you can get
sir,
back to us, and then
there is a
tomorrow
topic
we'll be
in
again
class
explaining this
9.
properly.
Suppose there is a topic in class 9 about paraplegia. Suppose Janaki is a girl who was in paraplegia condition.
Okay.
There is a locomotor disagreement.
locomotor disorder.
Locomotor disorder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Locomotor disagreement, that means leg, particular leg disorder, paraplegia.
Acha, see, nahi, if you know this particular questions, why are you asking the same thing again here? You see, you have put up this question, what is autism and paraplegia, and you yourself is responding to it. If you know, you see, you should ask a question that you do not know. Okay. If you know something, you should share with your friends. You just share
Okay,
with your
sir.
friends. Friends, paraplegia is a
Sir, it is
concept.
better.
Eh?
Sir, all questions coming from the student side, that should be given to
Okay.
the counselors. And in the last class, all the questions will be discussed in a vivid way.
Okay. No, but then whatever questions can be answered, those questions should be answered there in the present platform itself. Doesn't matter. Okay. Then let us proceed to another question. Dharitri Bhuye, no, sorry, Dasrathi Bhuye, I'm sorry. Dasrathi Bhuye is asking about difference between aptitude and attitude. Should I answer this particular question?
Yes, sir.
You see, dear Dasrathi, aptitude is a set of abilities which are essential for doing certain things, isn't it? And aptitude are mostly innate. They are inherited, but attitude can be changed. Suppose, for example, there is a person who is 99% positive and 1% negative, and you know only that particular negative aspect of that man. That means you are having a negative attitude toward that man. But the man is normally considered as a positive human being because 90%, 99% positivity is there in him. So since you do not know the 99% positive aspects and know only 1% negative aspects, you have formed a negative concept or a negative attitude towards that man, isn't it? But that can be changed very easily if you come across a few persons who have positive attitude towards that man, isn't it? When you know that person in totality, that means your negative attitude will be changed to positive attitude. So attitude can be changed. It goes on changing. So there are hundreds and thousands of examples which you'll come across in your life, isn't it? So even you may be thinking somebody as a very nice human being, very positive human being, but that person will turn out to be a dacoit, or that person will be turn out to be a terrorist. So your attitude will completely change subsequently. So attitude is attitude is it is a kind of personality trait, like our likes and dislikes. Okay, do you get the point? No, okay. Then Virupakhya Panda is asking what is drive and what is incentives. Jayashree madam, what is
That
drive and
is
what is incentive?
innate drive that comes from ourselves. That is an innate trait. But incentives, that is an outside thing which motivates us to do a particular thing. Like
Yeah,
drives means I have a urge to do this type of thing. But incentive means when I was awarded or rewarded or praised. That is incentive. That is an outside thing. This is intrinsic, drive is intrinsic, whereas our incentive, that is extrinsic.
your drive is an internal force. It is a kind of force
Yes, sir.
that compels a person to do some activity, isn't it? And incentive, there may be physical incentive or financial incentive, or when you are giving
Emotional,
yeah,
the
formal
emotional intensity.
emotional
Emotional
Madam,
intensity. Yes, sir. Praise, that is
madam,
emotional intensity.
please
madam, please.
please wait,
Drive and interest.
dear
What is
student.
the difference between drive and interest? Is it same? Drive is equal to interest.
No.
No,
Interest
no.
is
Drive
different.
is a force to do a particular thing, but interest is an internal thing. Or interest means we have uh, interest for a particular thing. Like I want to do, I want dancing, I want singing, I want to sing, I want to write a letter, I may be a very good poet. So this is interest. But drive means that is internal, and that is that means that is very much physiological also. Drive is for animals also, they have drive. But human beings, intelligence and drives are different because drives are generally included in biological process. But your interest is added with our intelligence. Intelligence affect our interest level. If we have curiosity to know a particular thing, and we have intelligence, we know that that thing is that, and we added curiosity with that, then we have interest that I am singing well, so I must have interest in singing. I must do better in this area.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay, so there is a question by Ashish Pradhan. Ashish Pradhan is asking, learners with hearing impairment is not in the study material. Some pages are okay. This is a general administrative question. So if your material is missing, you can download the material once again. Maybe the moment you downloaded the materials, that time there may be some problem with the internet connectivity. Therefore, there may not be some pages, but you will get the complete set of material from the website. Is there any other question related to the subject?
Any more questions?
If there is any other question related to the subject, somebody is asking about intelligence, smartness, and common sense. Jayashree madam,
Sir,
yeah,
I'm not
somebody is
getting.
asking about intelligence, smartness, and common sense.
Okay. So intelligence is the ability to differentiate between things, or it is an ability to think. But your smartness means when you are using your intelligence to tackle a problem in a particular situation. That is your smartness. Suppose a robber, you face a robbery case in a train, and at that time you simply go to the corner and call the police. That is your smartness. That means you have intelligence that how to tackle with the problem, and you solve your problem with your activity. That is your smartness. When you are actively do a particular thing to solve your problem, that is your smartness. But intelligence is the ability to think it. That is intelligence. But when you are actively solving your problem with your intelligence, that is called your smartness.
Intelligence is the ability to analyze, synthesize, isn't it?
Yes.
Comprehend. So all these things are involved there in intelligence.
Intelligence.
Smartness is how fast you act upon, how
Yes, sir.
fast you act upon using your common sense, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
You should be very smart in handling a situation. Okay. Uh, there is another question. Priyadarshini is asking, is every invention or discovery is a creativity? Definitely yes.
Yes,
Definitely
definitely.
yes. Every invention or every discovery is the outcome of creativity. You see, a creative child, what is creativity after all? Creativity is the ability to create new things. Simply speaking, or in a very simple language, you can understand creativity is the ability to create things. If something new is created, that means you have that creativity in yourself. Okay, so that way you can understand your child. If your child is producing something new, which is unusual, so that means the child is a creative child. So for that, you have to create conducive environment, isn't it? Creativity is not only pertaining to only one branch. In every branch of knowledge or in every sector, in every sphere, if somebody is showing some unusual behavior or some, some new things, coming up, we must have to nurture that particular quality. We must have to give direction to that student or child so that the creativity will be nurtured or that will grow. Okay, then is there any other question? Home. What is the role of motivation in learning? It is again a very simple question. You see, learning, I'm just responding to this. Learning itself is motivated. If you are sitting today in this online classroom, it is only because of your motivation.
Yes.
Had you not been motivated, you would not have been here, sitting at home and switching on your mobile or laptop, whatever, isn't it? So since you are motivated, you are attending to our lectures or our presentation. So learning and motivation both are interrelated. Both are interrelated. So motivation has a great role to play in effective learning. And motivation is it is something without which learning is absolutely not possible. So the first and foremost duty of the teacher is to see that every child is motivated towards his learning. Therefore, you see, they adopt so many techniques. Before they start teaching in the classroom, they adopt different strategies just to draw the attention of the children, just to create motivation among the children, isn't it? Then they start teaching. Without motivation, if you give something, that will fall on deaf ears, that will fall on deaf ears. So your teaching will never be effective. Motivation and learning both are interconnected and closely related.
Interrelated.
Then another question is put by Subhasmita Sahu. She is asking, when a student draw a picture related antisocial activity, can we say it's a creativity or not? Can we
Yes.
appreciate it or not? Is that, or in that case, what is the role of a teacher? It
The teacher should guide the students properly. He should not scold the child. He should guide it properly. That this is not a very good picture. A very good picture. You just draw some other picture. He just motivate the students to involve other types of activities. He should not encourage the students to draw such type of pictures, because um, if you scold that child that this is not wrong, you should not do this. In our general classroom situation, we also see in the after the prayer class, students they just read out the news, and in every school all antisocial activities and death news should not read in the prayer class. So that means students nowadays they are oriented with this fact that these things are not positive things and we should not discuss, we should not draw. If a child is very small, he is unable to understand that this is not a good thing or this is not a proper thing, then we just orient him, we just motivate him to do some good pictures. We can involve him some other activities, then only if his mindset will be changed, then he will be able to draw some good pictures or some positive pictures. No doubt.
You see, actually, dear student, I just add to what Dr. Nanda has said. In psychology, there is a concept, projective technique. You see, whatever creativity the child showed in form of a picture, negative picture, that is just the reflection of his mind, isn't it? If that is negative, suppose if he has drawn a picture of a person being stabbed by another person, that is a negative picture. That means that is a murder, picture of a murder, and it should not be promoted. So from there, you should know, as a teacher, you should learn that so many kinds of negativity is there in the mind of this particular child who has produced that picture. So proper treatment, academic treatment is required, because as the doctor treats a patient by giving some medicines or by surgery, in the similar fashion the teacher should treat the students, because now that child should be treated as a patient and you are the doctor. So how you will treat that patient? By giving proper academic treatment. And that treatment, how you will adopt which treatment, you have to devise ways and means as a teacher. If you are a perfect teacher, you'll be able to know that. So that is very essential. And
Sir,
from the very
actually, by proper care, affection, we can change his mind from negativity to positivity.
yes, of course, very true, very true. Then is there any other? Okay. Then Ajay Kumar Mahapatra is asking, what is socio-emotional intelligence? I think this question is asked. This question is answered. I'm sorry. This question is answered. So, okay, fine, friends. So many questions have been asked, and we tried to respond to each one of them. Now it is time for concluding the session. Before I conclude, I would like to give a few remarks about the present day's, about today's presentation. Dr. Nanda has nicely touched upon almost every aspect of block 2 of your BS-123. Every aspect has been nicely touched, and starting from learning, the factors affecting learning, isn't it? The different factors, like family type, school type, geographical location, socioeconomic condition, cultural background, and so on and so forth. Then also he described in detail about the distinction between auditory learners, visual learner, kinesthetic learner, and so on and so forth. And other types of learners like mentally retarded, then visually challenged, hearing impaired, and how learning takes place in these kind of learners. So all these things have been very nicely and elaborately discussed. And another most important thing is that intelligence and personality. These two factors, dear students, you must agree with me, are prominent factors in our teaching learning situation or teaching learning environment. Therefore, it is our duty to understand fully what is intelligence, the different types of intelligence, and factors affecting intelligence, and so forth. And similarly, personality, how to develop a sound personality in our children should be the topmost priority as a teacher. And for that, you have to understand the different personality traits, theories of personality, like extrovert, introvert, then different types. What Madam has said, like sanguine, phlegmatic, melancholic, so all these things. So everything is described. If these materials are not there in your study material, please find out the presentations about personality from a good psychology book, and you'll get complete details, complete description about all this, because in our study material everything is presented in a very nutshell. I have already told you in the very beginning that our study material is just the skeleton, and you have to pour flesh and blood to it in order to make it a complete, or you have to make a complete shape or give a complete shape to it. So refer some materials and try to understand these concepts in a much better way. Then in the second part, six important topics have been covered, like motivation, aptitude, attitude, creativity, interest, and curiosity. So these psychological traits, these are all psychological traits, and these traits have got a tremendous amount of relevance in our teaching learning situation. So every aspect should be properly taken care of. This is not only meant for the learners, this is meant for even teachers. We should also be very careful about our motivation, because if you create motivation among the child, the child will learn better. But if we ourselves are not motivated, we cannot teach. A motivated teacher only can teach in a better way. Similarly, a motivated learner can better learn. So motivation is meant for both teachers as well as learners. Similarly, aptitude, attitude, creativity, interest, and curiosity. This is meant for everybody who are involved in the teaching learning situation. So friends, we have covered a whole amount of things within a very short period of time, of 2 hours. And I am very much thankful to Dr. Jayashree Nanda that she spared her time and contributed immensely in today's presentation. And I am also very much thankful to all the learners for active participation and patient hearing. If there will be any further queries and questions, we are free to take up, of course, through email. You send your questions through email, and in email also we'll be clarifying your doubts. So tomorrow we'll meet exactly at 2 p.m. With block 3, and the presentations which are there in block 3 will be made by Dr. Jayashree Nanda again. So thank you, madam. Thank you, students. Now we are concluding the sessions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.